Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S, and we are here with What's the Word Wednesdays, Season 2, Episode 2. So, as y'all coming in, we're going to do like we usually do. We're going to put these comments in here. Then put that up. What's going on, brother? Good to see you up in here, Trudy. What's up? And then let's see. I'm going to try this picture again one more time, y'all, and see if it works for me to keep it as a background. If not, it's okay. Let's see. We're going to try it one more time, y'all. Wow, I got it all the way back here. Let's see. So I see it still does the same thing. So we got to get rid of it. It's all good. But as y'all are in here too, let me know how y'all doing, how y'all feel, man. What's the word? That's what we here for. I'm chilling, G. Grateful for every moment. Doing what I can with the time, energy, and the strength I got. But how you doing, G? We keeping the feeling abstract to the code. Oh, y'all, let me know how I sound. Do I sound good, as well as is the music not so loud? Let me know. As a currently aware of impressions, pressing points of pressure, gauging measures of a status. The government, state, and worldly masses are heavily impacted. A sealed approval of contradicting tactics. We're gonna give just a little bit of time, a few more people to get in. Then after that, we're gonna get the show started. I know time's a man-made concept that shapes every instance that we know. From home, school, life, and workload. I know love is best realized in one soul and shared among all to behold. It's a never-ending process. It takes decades to mentally process, then progress on with every element. Evident in its existence that we clash with. You decide the arena and where the match is. Right. Ideas to imagine. Right when this chorus comes in, we're gonna get started. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Let's welcome it. So they come in, we talk to them, we let them know. They come in, we talk to them, we let them know. That what's the word, y'all? What's the word? What's the word, y'all? What's the word? What's the word, y'all? What's the word? Tell them like, what's the word? What's the word? What you heard? We gotta know, yeah, what's the word? Once again, it's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S, and we're back with another episode of What's the Word Wednesdays, Season 2, Episode 2. So with today's episode, we are going to be getting into the topics of current events, as we usually do. We're going to speak on intuition, what that is, and how we're going to unfold that and talk more into that. And lastly, we're going to speak on the power of the present moment and how that influences you and has an impact on you. Now with that, let's get into these current events. So I wrote a few down, and I also have some that's going to be up on the screen. You'll see like the screen change colors a few times when I'm doing stuff. But one of the big things for me that I got to notice in the news, because I've been doing a lot more investing in stocks and learning about the stock market. Right now, GameStop is going bananas with the stock. It's literally experiencing a big influx going up and down, which is having also an effect on just the overall market. Not saying only GameStop, but just there's a big overall fluctuation of just stocks going down during this time, including GameStop being crazy. So the reason why I wanted to speak on that is because GameStop a few months back, about a few months back, was roughly around like maybe $3 or $4. And then as the months continue to go in, there was this whole thing with like a Reddit group, and there might be more information to it. I'm just giving a little small slight, but from that, GameStop has literally went from those $4 and then to one day up to $150 something, and right now let's see how much the stock is now. But last time I checked, the stock was up at $290, and literally right now as we speak, literally GameStop from where it was, it is up 134.84%, which that means that the dollar amount is $347.51. So people are making a killing right now with buying this stock, especially if you brought it at $4, and then now where it's at, this thing is experiencing great volatileness. But yeah, I had to speak on that because it's in the news, and a lot of people are just been looking into that when it comes to at least, investing. Second thing that I've at least gotten to see and notice in the news is there's more talk around, the shots and how that's going to be administered, as well as the effectiveness due to a lot of the different vaccines, or not vaccines, but the different variants of the virus itself. So it's like, okay, how viable are these shots going to be? And coming from Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, he says that the COVID shots can be easily adapted to these new variants, and they're working on boosters. So just know that when all of this does come out, and if you do end up going and getting the shot and all of this, just know that it's not only one. There's going to be multiples that you're going to have, and then there's going to be that booster that's going to be added on top of it. So the main thing is just making sure you stay up to date with what's going on with that, and still figuring out, what your decision is going to be with that. But right now, Dr. Fauci is saying that these shots are going to be easily adapted so that it can mess with the different 3 or 4 strains that have been discovered. So we'll see. We will see. And in other news, the other thing that I did also see, I was looking up to, is that specifically in Los Angeles and LA, they actually ended up lifting the stay-at-home order partially. I say partially, but they ended up lifting the stay-at-home order to allow different businesses and things to be open and different places to be open, but of course at a limited capacity. And this was given or shown by literally, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you in here. By Governor Newsom, if I'm saying his name correctly. So right now, Cali is off of the stay-at-home order, but in a limited way. So we'll see how that goes. We will definitely see how that's going to be looking and where that will go for Cali, because within the last week or so, the numbers have went down around about 35 to about 40% when it comes to cases. So we will see with that that home, stay-at-home order being lifted, and how many people are now going to really come out and be able to, and I would say enjoy, but have more of a time to do other things since staying cooped up for so long. All of us are still, but we'll see how that goes. Another thing that I saw in the news, but it's just a few other articles, but basically it's if you put 2 and 2 together, just knowing that without getting the shot, or wherever you want to end up doing and where you want to end up going, you have to be mindful of what your choices are going to be. So there's specific places, especially here in Chicago, they was talking about, it says from NBC News, it says that no shot, no in-person education, teachers say. So we're getting opinions from other people, and and folks about, well, if you decide not to do this, then this is your option. On top of that, the CDC also ended up giving that travel alert. So now it is official now that from January 26th to now where we are now, you have to show proof of a negative test to be able to travel right now, wherever you may be going. And there's more updates that will be coming, and depending on where you want to travel and go, there's more restrictions and more rules, so you will have to look into that. But just giving y'all just a little bit. This is all that I'm able to give and at least share with y'all right now. So take that all with what you want when it comes to that. But other than that, in news, I don't see really too much. There is a lot more things going on. I'm not touching on every single thing, just things that at least caught my attention. So if y'all have any, please throw them in the comments. Shout out to those who are here. Shout out to those who will watch this later, either on Instagram or YouTube. So shout out to y'all. And with that, if there's no more, we'll move to the next topic. In this particular case, the next topic is intuition. And what is intuition? What does that have to do concerning us? And why does this have any importance? Period. So y'all let me know in the comments. When you think of the word intuition, what are the first few things that come to mind? Or what is your definition of intuition? Give y'all some time. So you would doge. Alright. Let y'all, while y'all still doing that, I'm gonna read it down here. I got the definition, and then I'm gonna speak on my definition and my understanding of what intuition is. And from the Webster's Dictionary, there's a few definitions for intuition. The first one, we have the power or faculty of attaining to direct knowledge or cognition without evident rational thought and inference. So basically, being able to have some type of direct knowledge from somewhere that you don't have evidence for it. The next one, immediate apprehension or cognition. So just thought in general and how you think. Next one, knowledge or conviction gained by intuition. That's one thing I always notice too, is how do you define the word using the word? How does that help to give you more clarity on what it means? But I guess so. So knowledge in this particular case is thinking of intuition. And then another one, which is the last one on here, says quick and ready insight. So in this particular case, when I think of intuition, I see intuition as a little bit what it said earlier too, is really that connection to that infinite consciousness, or if not, that inner self of yours, that inner voice that gives you information on stuff, or you get a feeling that you want to do something, or is telling you not to do something. And how I see that too is when I look at the word intuition, you got that shun at the end, which is the state of, and you have in tune. So this is the state of being in tune, whether that's with yourself or is that with other people that's around you and your environment. So when you're speaking on intuition, it's being able to be aware and in tune of what's going on around you, but as well as that's happening from within yourself. So intuition is very, very vital when it comes to things, because it does help with making decisions as well as discernment, thinking about what could be happening and how do you address certain things that are happening around you. So if you have this inside feeling or this inside voice, you know, some people say trust your gut. Another way of saying that's your intuition is when you may be walking down the street, or you may end up going to a concert, which I know we can't do that right now, but or you end up going to a particular place that you know in your mind is not where you need to be, but you still take that risk to go and do that, and you have this feeling. Usually, sometimes for me, it is down here in the gut. If not, it's also up here, and it lets you like know, like, okay, this don't feel right, but you're still gonna do it. And then when you decide to either act on it and be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay, or you know what, nah, I still wanna go out and do what I do, you've made an active choice, and you are gonna have to deal with whatever those consequences are. But what intuition is, it's that extra indicator, or that extra feeling that's there to help you with taking a second to think and really be decisive with what you're going to end up doing. So you want to make sure that you listen to that, because honestly, in my perspective, from my experience, it hasn't steered me wrong yet at all. It hasn't. And most of the time I've been going against my intuition, and when I go against my intuition, I end up really learning a lesson the hard way. So if people love learning a lesson the hard way, I mean, that's one thing to do, is then just don't listen to your intuition. Go for what you're going to do, and then see what happens. But in my particular case, there's been a few times where I haven't went and listened to my intuition, and things ended up happening completely different from what was supposed to happen. I mean, just today was a great example of that. And basically what happened today was I was getting this feeling, you know, within, it was really more so of a feeling. I've been thinking about going on another fast, or at least another cleanse, to really make sure that everything in my body is working well as to keep up my defenses when it comes to my system, and just to feel just overall better, because I've been really eating a lot lately, and I need to watch on that. So I'm over here, I'm already feeling that, and I was like, you know what, I need to go on this soon. Maybe I should go today, but I don't know. You know what, I still want to go get me some food. And then I got the feeling in here that was telling me necessarily like, no, you said you're gonna go and start this, so why don't you just go ahead and start now? Don't worry about going to go get you any food. You'll be fine. And I was just like, you know, I've been putting out a lot of this work, and I've been doing so many things right now. Like, let me go treat myself with something to eat. Even though I'm being told inside of myself, yo, you're good. Like, start this cleansing, this fast, so you can start cleaning your body now. Don't worry about the food. It's going to come. But like I said, I went against it, and what ended up happening is, on my way to go pick up the food after I made the order, I ended up getting pulled over, and literally I got a ticket. I got a ticket just because of the fact that, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What's the word? So I ended up going against my intuition just because of the fact that it told me that, you know what, you need to slow down on the eating, and you need to go ahead and just take it slow, start this fast. And I decided I still want to go get me something to eat. I get stopped, and I get a ticket along with the food. So instead of me paying however much I needed to pay for my food, now I'm gonna have pay for that food, as well as on top of whatever this ticket is gonna end up being. So my whole thing with that is really trust your intuition, listen to your intuition, because for me, it has not steered me wrong at all. It literally has given me tools and has guided me to let me know, you know what, maybe that's the choice right now that you do not need to make. And when you don't end up making that choice and you follow through with what's being heard down here or up here, everything's going to turn out just fine. And I wish I did, because then I wouldn't have to be worried about no ticket right now. But if y'all have anything, please let me know. What do y'all think when you think of the word intuition, or what does that mean to you? And why is it important to have intuition? Which I didn't get to speak on a little bit, but I spoke on some of it. But for me, intuition is very important because of that fact that it brings about that awareness. It brings about that, structure to help you have a foundation on where you're going to proceed with certain things. So if you're not too sure of a certain decision, but you're able to just take that time to sit and really feel out yourself. So using not only your emotions, but also using your awareness and using, what you already know of your knowledge to help you put that all together. And once you're able to do that, it develops an approach for you to continue. I love how the song is helping right now. Approach for you to take and not just only react to a situation or react to what's going on, but be able to respond. So being able to have that ability to respond in the appropriate way that works out for you. So listen to your intuition, y'all. It is definitely not going to steer you wrong. It's there to help you. And a lot of times we do choose to ignore it, and we choose not to follow it because of the fact that we feel that we know better and we know more than what's being said, as well as we're looking to feel in the same time the ego and to get that instant gratification, whatever it may end up being, because that's what we had our mind and our body and everything set on to get. But everything that's instant, everything that looks good, that glitters, isn't gold and isn't good for you. So you have to be conscious, you have to be careful, and you have to be cognizant of what is around you, what you put into you, all of the senses, to make sure that you're pushing to get better. So that's intuition there, and that's how I literally think of intuition and how that impacts me. Why is it important? And just gave you just some examples. So if y'all have any more, please throw them down in the comments. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love and the support. This cannot continue on without y'all. And if y'all have any other things too, just know it's fine. Like, I have these as topics here, but always just throw in other comments, throw in other questions. They're welcome anytime, anywhere when it comes to this. So with that being said, I don't have much more on that. We're gonna go into the last topic and really dig a little bit more into this, and we'll see how much longer we'll go with this. But for tonight's last topic for this show, we're going to talk about the power of the present moment, aka the now. And why did I state saying that there's power in it? So when you think of it, and you think about being in the present moment and being here right now and not worrying about anything else that's going on around you, what does that do for you? How does it make you feel? Can you remember a moment when you actually took 10 seconds to notice the color of the sky, or your own breath, or really listening to what somebody is saying and not just hearing them and be like, yeah, I heard what you were saying, but did you really actively listen to what was being stated? And now that's just a few things to think about when you think about the power of the present moment. And there is a book out, it's called The Power of the Now. I can't think of the author's name. I think it's Eckhart Tolle, if I'm correct. Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can do that correctly right now. But the power of the now. Let me see if that's correct. But with this, the reason why I'm bringing this up too is because it's a very Eckhart Tolle. And if you want more information on it, you can literally DM me, whatever it may be. Shouts out to Bahar, who actually passed me this book and I was able to read and look into it. And I've always had a love and a respect for being just in a moment with people and just only being there, not worrying about, oh, I have to finish my homework, or oh, I have to end up getting to this next appointment that goes on, it has to be going on in the next hour or so. But really being in the moment, whether we're playing a game, having a deep conversation, you know, taking a walk, wherever it may end up being, just being there in that moment, it just really makes everything else around you, for me personally, move slower, and you're able to really be joyful and be happy within that moment, whatever is going on. And that's where I get the saying too, that I like to say that moments are forever, because of the fact that you can remember a moment at any age that you are as you get older that you had. So a past experience that you had that was there in a certain moment, you're always going to remember that. So time may not always be a thing, but the moments and those memories, they always live on. And it's because of the fact of that power of being there and being fully present and not worrying about whatever else is going on around you. So how do you use this power? And where can you implement this in your life? Now, when you're talking about how can you use this power and where can you use this? When it comes to gaining this particular power of being in the present moment, it takes a lot of conscious effort. So really making yourself stop doing certain things at times for even a small amount of time. Like literally telling yourself, all right, 10 seconds, I'm gonna literally just sit here real quick. Just sit in that moment. And then maybe next time it'll be 20 seconds. Maybe it'll be a minute. And then before you know it, within that time that you start building up of just being in the present moment, not worrying about what you have to end up doing next, you start to build a space of calmness for yourself, as well as really a space for you to really express how you really feel at that moment. And you're able to take that energy with you and help inspire, even drive you to do certain things. And I know for myself, one of the moments that I really do find myself being joyful with doing is, just like I was hearing from the song, it's freestyling. And the reason why I really love and I am joyful when it comes to freestyling is because that puts you right in that state of the now. You're in a flow that is just coming from, you don't even know where. You say from the mind, but what is truly the mind? And you're creating this particular moment that is only going to be there for that moment. It could never be recreated. It could never be copied in any way, shape, and form, all the way down to the T perfect. It is only meant for that moment, for you to capture it there. And once you're able to capture that and you're there in that moment, especially when it comes to freestyling, you really start to feel connected, even if you're doing it by yourself. But it really is a great moment when you're doing it with a lot more people. And you're just really going into just another recess of your mind to put these words together, to just weave together a whole scheme or a whole phrase, or maybe even just a whole rhyme that you want to share with everybody around you, to show them that I'm here in this moment, I'm liking this moment, I want to add to this moment, so let's continue doing this here. And you get so invested sometimes when you are in a moment, and I know my particular self, when you really get into, at least I'm using freestyling, you start to lose track of time. You really can be going in for hours, and then you'll look up and be like, wow, wait, what? It's actually 8 o'clock? Bro, we've been here since 2. Like, how did that happen? And the reason why is you literally blocked out everything else that was around you, and you decided to be there in that moment to create that moment so that it will bring about something for you. I don't know. That's what being in the present really does. And that power of the present is, it helps you to remind you that life is precious, connections are precious, and knowing that even though things are stressful in this existence that we're living, when you come to reflect and see that and be joyful about you being here and being alive, it really resets you, and it really helps with you finding your focus and finding your way in a way that you might have felt lost. And you might say, well, how is that even possible? How can I end up doing this? When can I do this? Guess what? I don't like meditating. It doesn't help me. I don't like reading. None of that. It doesn't help me at all. I only find myself in the moment when I'm on the phone talking about this, or I'm watching TV, or whatever it may end up being. The main component of being there in that moment to get that power and to be able to extract and have that energy and that joy in that moment is just being aware and wanting to be there, because you can choose not to be there and you can have a choice to be there. So it's taking that conscious choice to want to be in the moment and want to be in the now, because on a daily basis we find ourselves always mushing. We got a schedule. I know I set a schedule for myself so that at least I know what I have to at least do to get throughout the day. At this time, go here, go there. But even within that schedule, I make a conscious effort to at least take a few seconds, sometimes even minutes, to just sit and to just be in that moment, not worrying about anything else that's going on around me, not wanting to get to the project that I want to do, not wanting to look up a word or watch a YouTube video or go walk outside, ride my bike, whatever it may end up being. But just sit there. And when I catch myself really being there in that moment and sitting there too, and like I said, y'all throw them down in the comments. Please let me know. This is just not only me. I appreciate y'all's engagement as well too. But when I sit there and I'm there in the moment and I'm just letting it just be, and I'm just being, so a human being, I'm just being, a lot of thoughts arise. A lot of ideas come. A lot of different things start to just pop up because of the fact that we are so used to always being on the go and always doing something. We have to move forward, because if we're not moving, then we're not progressing, and there's no forward movement. Our future's going to look bleak because we're not done in the past, and that is all understandable. But once you understand that even taking just a moment, that's why there's such things as taking breaks. Usually that's what a break that we have, that's in everything that we do. There's a reason why you get a break. That's that moment to catch yourself, to get recharged and get ready to go back to whatever you may be doing. But a lot of times when people do on those breaks is they're usually either they're on their phone, which is, like I said, it's understandable. Either, you know, they're taking the time to eat, that's perfectly fine, as well as they're doing things during that time. But when you're on a break, you think of break, that means stopping what you're doing and just being there. But reason why and when you can do this, the reason why it's very hard to be in the present moment and to use that power is, once again, we're conditioned to always be doing things, and we've been conditioned by society to be in a state of fear, false evidence appearing real when it comes to what you need to get done and what society says is going to make you a prosperous individual. And we get caught up with all of those ideas and all of those standards that when we're in that present moment, we feel that it's a waste of time. And once again, I'm a person that speaks on saying that time is a man-made concept due to all the different area code or, you know, time differences, but it's all understandable because of the way of the world works. But we see the present moment as pointless or a waste of time, because within that time I could have been doing this. I could have actually finished that project. I could have actually made an extra few dollars. I actually could have got to drive a bit further, get closer, whatever it may end up being. It's always about the onward motion. And I get that life is busy, and that's how things move. That's how a system moves. That's how we move. We're energy in motion. I get it. You have to stay constantly in motion. But the only time that we're not in motion, if it's for some people, but we're still awake, is when we lay down to sleep and rest. And that's not necessarily a time to be able to be in the present moment. Because when you're asleep, you're asleep. That's what you're doing. You're doing something still, technically. So you're not really there in the present moment figuring out, okay, what is going on, what can be done, what do we see happening, and just really thinking, yo, that's the only time I have to myself. I will tell you that even taking 1 minute out of your day, just 1 minute out of your day, to either sit, go outside, breathe in the air, leave your phone. If you're at work in the desk, leave it there. If you're working from home, step outside from things, sit, look at nature, or just literally just be. Just for 1 minute a day. Just 1 minute a day. Not worrying about anything. You'll slowly see a benefit to that. And you'll start to want to at least do it a little bit more. You may not be on it consistently, but it will really start to show you that it's very easy to implement doing that. So now when it comes to where can you put that in and put it into your life, you have to look at your schedule. You have to look at the things that you are doing and that you're getting yourself into, and see where would that be the right time and moment to do that. For myself, I can do that in the beginning of the day, but I mostly catch myself doing it around noon one-ish, where I take time to either I'm going to just, like I said, sit and just relax, I may meditate, or I may end up just walking around and finding me a spot to just sit and just be. And during that time, I'm making sure that I'm not thinking about anything else that I have to get to next. If it comes up, it comes up, but I don't let the thought continue to just circle and circle and circle in my head. I let it be there for a moment, and then it leaves. And if you're the type of person that needs to have like a specific set time, date, or you gotta write it down, just start writing it down. And you don't have to do it every single day. It can start with literally doing it twice a week, whatever time you want to put on it. And if you start to really get into it, 3 times, 4 times, till it becomes a routine. It becomes a ritual for you to do. And when you take those times and those things to be in the present moment, it doesn't have to only be by yourself. If you can do that with other people when you're, like I said, at work, in concert, whatever it may be, the main part of that is that you being consciously aware of it and taking that initiative to choose to be there in that moment. And when you're there in that moment, it's a powerful thing. And you can grab so much from it. I know I may be saying the same things over and over, but I really want to stress how powerful being in the moment is, and what that brings for you as a person, as an individual, and just for just the overall feel of what you're trying to get to. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, for you to be able to help others and continue to shine and continue to grow and develop, you have to be able to take that time and develop yourself and be comfortable with yourself in moments of silence, of being just there in the present, not worrying about what's going to happen in the future, not worrying about what just happened in the past, but there in the present moment. As in, I'm right here, I'm on this live, I'm in the chair, and I'm speaking to y'all while I'm listening to music in the background. And just getting accustomed to that and getting used to that, because it becomes such a powerful tool to help de-stress, as well as to keep your self-care going. So when it comes to the power of the present moment, just know that it can provide a great sense of relief, of stress, sense of finding oneself, and just really being more at peace with a lot of things. And how can you do that? Just taking the conscious effort to be like, I choose to be in this moment right now, not worry about anything else. Where can you do it? Anywhere that you can end up finding your time. It's just always about that, being that I see it, so now I'm going to go ahead and be in the moment. So, if y'all have anything else with that, that's all I had for today when it comes to these topics, especially being in the power of the now and all that was spoken on. If y'all have anything else, please throw it in here. I'm grateful for y'all, because I know literally you could be doing anything else in the world right now, but you tuned in watching the brother and you see the brother here, you know. So I'm grateful for y'all coming in here, being a moment. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, my G. And just being in this moment. This is a moment that we have created and we shared, and being here in the now. So with that, if any of y'all have anything you want to touch on when it comes to intuition and the power of now, or even the current events, throw them in, because we're gonna shut down now, as we're already getting towards the end. It's already just about done. But if y'all have it, I'm just gonna sum up the last bit of the show. I'm going to get into it. Oh, this guy. All right, I see. What I know about stocks? Yeah, bro, I've been investing, man. I started back in November, and I've been actually doing decent. And it just took time for me to jump in and just do it. That was the thing. And as I did my research and I got in contact with people on YouTube and watched and found all of this, I was able to get a good grasp of how the market works in a way, and just really what the whole game of it really is really, I got the mindset. So if I had the money behind it, I probably would be doing a lot more, but you work with what you got. But yeah, man, shoot, stocks is important, man. At least we got to play this game. Since we're in this system, we got to find ways to help generate wealth, my G. So just know a little bit about stocks, not a lot, because I'm not a financial advisor. I do not have any expertise in any of that. I just go off of what I've gotten to research and know. But yeah, bro, stocks is just one of those ways for you to build these streams of income. That's it. Shoot, that's life, my man. Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. No, I spoke on that way earlier in the show, bro. Literally, dude, I got you. Like, I can literally speak on you when it comes to it, bro. Like, if you're willing to jump on for the after show, like, I got you, bro. Like, I'll at least show you what at least bit of knowledge that I do know when it comes to that in stocks and learning. I got you. But yeah, GameStop is going crazy right now. It went from literally being about $3 or $4 to, I just said it earlier, it's up $347 and some cents. Like, it literally just jumps up. And what's going on is, I forgot the terminology that they use for it, but I think it's a short squeeze is what they call it. And basically what that is that basically they're buying the stock. They're shorting the stock. So they buy it at a low price. And a lot of these other companies that have a major amount of money, they throw as much as they can into that stock so that it runs up. And when it hits its peak and the people have already made 100% profit or whatever more profit off of it, all those companies start to pull out. So then you see that dip. And what ends up happening in that dip is then people start to panic, so they start selling. So when people end up selling, those same corporations and businesses that had all that money, they see that now the stock is down at a discounted price again. So then they buy back into the stock, and guess what? It runs back up. So literally it's a back and forth roller coaster game. And the thing is, being able to watch and see those trends, that's why a lot is going on, especially with GameStop. I haven't heard much about AMC. I can look into that too, but GameStop has been going crazy. What's going on, brother Sabu? I appreciate y'all. Y'all towards the end of the show, man. I was just wrapping it up real quick when it came to literally what was left. So literally, I want to just do a summary, and if any of y'all want to get on for the after show, we can talk about this. I got y'all. But in summary, y'all, for the show today, we talked about the GameStop stock and how much craziness that was going on. I talked about Dr. Fauci and how he's talking about these shots can adapt to the different variants of the virus. We talked about how LA right now is off of the stay-at-home order due to government Newsom, but it's partially, so there's certain, restrictions. Also spoke on the whole thing too with you needing a negative COVID test to be able to fly, and there's different restrictions with that. And just knowing that if you're thinking about going back to school, whatever things may end up being, just be mindful that you're going to end up possibly have a shot or not. And with Intuition, it's basically the state of being in tune with yourself and all that's around you. And intuition is a powerful thing to use. It is a great tool to help you with making decisions and being able to show and be able to grow beyond what is given in front of you. So listen to your intuition. It's going to guide you. And then lastly, the power to being in the power of the present moment. It provides you with that set feeling and that set perspective to not worry about anything else that's going on around you and to be invested in that moment, to show you how precious it is and how much energy, love, and everything that can come out of it if you take that time to be a human being in the present moment now. With that, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. To those who did tune in, peace and one love. To those who's going to watch it later here on Instagram and YouTube, peace and one love to you. I've been your brother A.D.V.I.S.S. This is What's the Word Wednesdays. And we out.